Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another installment of my Set Play series where I play through the Bayonetta franchise, kicking back, relaxing, doing what I do best. Playing the Bayonetta series is something that I adore a lot. And it's great to see that a lot of you guys are coming in to watch the stream. I'm letting you all come in, make yourselves at home. And for those of you that are watching this video on demand through YouTube or Twitch, hello there. Nice of you all to stop on by. I see that Mujakina is here, Super Dragon is here, Jickboy, Cold Steel Egg, Ruya, Area Hope. Lots of wonderful people are here to watch this stream. I thank you all so very much for tuning in. You guys are amazing. I love you all so very much. These streams are really difficult for me to keep in control because, you know, I have a really tight schedule, having to, you know, deal with a social life, having to go to work, having to make money, doing all that stuff. So it means the world to me when these people are able to make the time to watch what I do when I got the time to actually make these streams. And it's great. It's so good. And man, we are so close to the release of Bayonetta 3. We are down to just how many days left? 28 days. Oh man, I can't believe it. Once this day goes by, tomorrow will be the 1st of October and it'll be so... We are in the final stretch. Almost the final stretch because we still got a whole month to go. Oh man, it is so exciting. But let's not worry too much about Bayonetta 3. Let's not worry about that at all. Right now, we got Bayonetta 2 to take care of. And last time when I was streaming this game, I was able to take down the boss from Paradiso, and now we are making our way to Chapter 4, the two meet. Alright. Alright, so before I actually proceed with this, I want to take a visit to the shop and see if there's anything worth getting, you know? Must be tough being human, right? Yeah.
I got items. Welcome to the foundation.
It sucks being a human. Having to work in our society, trying to make a living just so that we can have that one little moment of freedom where we can have a lot of fun. Oh boy, it really does suck, let me tell you. Let's see, very happy my internet's cooperating with the stream. Hopefully I'll be able to stay for the whole thing. Oh yeah, man. Just make yourself comfortable because this will be a pretty long run. I'm estimating about 2 hours worth of streaming. So let's see. I believe I have enough money to buy the Tetsuzanko along with the Heel Stomp and pretty much most of these abilities. So let me go ahead and get Tetsuzanko. Let me also get... You know what? Let me get Witch Twist. Witch Twist is basically the alternative to Afterburner Kick. Instead of going up, instead of going up in a diagonal form, you go straight up with the punch variation. Heel Tornado. I don't ever see myself using Heel Tornado that often. But you know what? Let me also take this chance, take this time to buy the Heel Stomp. Alright. And as for accessories, well, they're pretty damn expensive, so I'm gonna have to pass on these. And for weapons, well, the only alternative I can buy is Rakshasa. But you know what? I'm gonna hold on to my money because I don't necessarily need Rakshasa to be on both my hands and feet. Yeah, I think we're good. Alright. Enough time wasted. Straight into the two meet. And what could those two mean? Who are these two that are gonna meet? Best case scenario, I get a review code. I would totally love a review code. I wouldn't use it to review it. I'll use it to try to record some early combo clips for you guys. I'm not really good at reviewing games. I mean, I've thought about reviewing games, making video essays, but I just don't have the time.
You're the pervert staring at Bayonetta's tits all the time. You really need to learn how to talk to a lady. Hey, I am no... Wait, how did... No time for this.
I like how he's more baffled that Loki noticed that Luca happens to be taking a quick peek at Bayonetta all the time.
Hey, kid.
Oh, the 6-hour iCarly retrospective from Quentin Review? I saw that myself too. I actually love Quentin Review's videos. They're really well done. They've actually given me some ideas on what I would do if I were to make a 2-hour retrospective on Bayonetta 1 and 2. If I have the chance and the time. But I make no promises here. The most I can really do is just stream these games. And of course record a couple of combo clips. Alright. Now normally we're supposed to move forward, but if you jump down into this hole, you'll get Sovereign. Another one of Luca's journals. Actually kind of funny that it ended up falling in there. I mean, he was the one nesting between her breasts, of course. of course he was. Oh, what do we got here? Fidelity. Now is that high fidelity or low fidelity? Either way, I'm gonna have to destroy these dudes. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. I was expecting longer health. I guess I'm so used to playing this game on non-stop infinite climax.
You've been naughty.
Now, we only got the first half of the angelic hymn. We're gonna need to find the other half. Now, you could go this way, but if you look carefully over at this lonely area, there is a hidden verse that we can find. Get out of here.
Dreadful.
Huh, not a high score. I'm actually kind of surprised. Then again, I wasn't really doing a lot of high DPS moves. Like I've said before in the last stream, Bayonetta 2's scoring system favors high DPS, so it's not about doing combos, it's more about doing high damage constantly. They really do want you to focus on using Umbran Climax. This verse can be very punishing if you launch enemies forward instead of down. Yeah, that is true. That is definitely true. Get out of here. The only two idiots watching this on Twitch. Hey, you know what? You're not an idiot for watching this on Twitch. You have more control on Twitch. You can, what's that word I'm looking for? You can clip any moments that you consider cool. In fact, that's the one thing I want to do with Bayonetta 3. Once I start streaming Bayonetta 3, I would encourage a lot of you guys to jump onto Twitch and try to capture any cool combos that you see me pull off, if I'm able to do any of them on the fly, you know what I mean? See, that would be the fun part, just trying to clip a lot of cool stuff and then I can review them and then put them in a compilation and see if it looks good, you know? So yeah, don't worry. The Twitch homeboys get their the Twitch homeboys will be noticed by Senpai. Now, of course, we could continue going through the door, but if you look around here, there should be a hidden Muspelheim. I will, of course, play Bayonetta 3 myself for days, but the second I'm done with it, I can't wait to watch your VOD. Of course, I know a lot of people are looking forward to my playthrough, and believe me, no one is looking forward to it a lot more than myself. I just really want to see what Bayonetta 3 is all about. I can't wait to get the feel of the game, because there's only so much I can look at a game and see if it's going to be fun or if it's going to be good. I need the feel. That is extra important. Oh, damn, I got hit. No! I was on my way to a platinum run. Aw, and I dropped my combo there. I'm not a big fan of the shielded enemy myself, because, you know, the whole idea with the shielded enemies that you have to break their guard, but it doesn't feel like you can really do anything with that other than just throw out your Umbran Climax at it, because even regular weaves can't bypass that shield. It's kind of lame, the approach that you are given with those shielded enemies. I mean, Umbran Climax isn't bad per se. Like, I tried to mention this before, but see, Umbran Climax isn't bad. The concept alone is pretty cool, and there's a lot of cool things that you could do with it. What I don't like is how the entire game is balanced around Umbran Climax. That's the problem. Because without Umbran Climax, you're typically at a disadvantage against these enemies who are able to ignore the strength of your Wicked Weave and ignore your relaunches, ignore a lot of Bayonetta's properties that were pretty strong in the first game. With the second game, there's so much focus on Umbran Climax that there really isn't that many options where you don't need Umbran Climax. I'm not sure if I'm wording that correctly. There isn't a lot of situations that... There's not a lot of situations where Umbran Climax isn't a needed tool. I believe that's the right way of me saying it. Now, that's not to say that it's impossible to play the game without Umbran Climax, because you totally can play the game without it if you choose to. But there's just a significant drawback to playing the game without that ability. You know, it wasn't like in the first game where you had so much control over the enemies that you're able to do these cool combos. Here, it feels like most of the strategies get pigeonholed into this one ability. And so the game can be pretty frustrating, especially when you play early on, because you don't have a lot of magic on you. It's only when you finally get all of the broken moon pearls and get all of her magic maxed out where the game starts to have a better flow. And I feel like that's kind of a backwards approach. It should really feel good right from the start and only get better as you progress. It shouldn't be a matter of, oh, this feels terrible until you get to this point. You know what I mean? That's the big issue that I have with Umbran Climax. There we go. However, if you do hit the guy hard enough, you do get a free counter, which is always good. There we go.
Dreadful.
Yeah, bouncing around the win button that you have to charge makes skills that use magic useless. Exactly. Because magic buildup is so slow in Bayonetta 2, magic becomes more precious. So you can either waste time using your Tetsuzakos and your heel stomp, or just build your magic and make it where Umbran Climax trounces everything else. It's not even that Umbran Climax is overpowered, because a lot of people seem to misunderstand when I'm telling them that Umbran Climax is a powerful ability. Yes, it's powerful, but it's not overpowered. It's the way the game was balanced around it. Because I've had people tell me, oh, Umbran Climax is not overpowered. You still need to think it through and be smart about it. Yeah, you can be smart about it, but in the end, Umbran Climax is still the go-to ability for a lot of situations. Let's see, I finally caught a set stream before I have to go to work, which will be in like an hour. Oh, well, that's cool. Thanks for catching the stream, even if it's just for a short while. You guys are amazing. I love you all so very much. Hold on, I'm reading the comments. I don't know if this is an okay place to ask, but where can I watch the last stream without the post commentary? What do you mean without the post commentary? Like just the regular gameplay, like no commentary, no nothing? Because in my YouTube channel, like if you go to the front page, everything should be laid out for the people to find all the stuff that I'm more recognized for. Like I have on the front page, the Bayonetta collab video, and then beneath that are all the playlists that I find to be the most important playlists for people to watch. The Bayonetta Pure Platinum videos, the Bayonetta 2 Pure Platinum videos, which I haven't finished yet. I'm going to get to that soon. The Wonderful 101 Pure Plats, and then miscellaneous things like Let's Plays that I've deemed the best, so on and so forth. I hope that answers your question. If not, you should specify a little more in detail what it is you're looking for, because I do my best to make sure that everyone can find exactly what they need just by going to the front page. Ah, no, give me that. There we go. Also said, I've noticed both your original Let's Play of Bayonetta 2, you always stop at Chapter 9, like the Infinite Climax as standard Let's Play. It's funny that you made that observation, because that was completely intentional. The first time I did the Let's Play for Bayonetta 2, I really wanted to put as much effort into it as I possibly could, but unfortunately, I didn't have time to really complete it all, because it does require a lot of editing. You know, I have to edit my voice into the video. I got to make sure I record the video. I got to make sure to render the video. And that is a process that does take a while. And it's so much easier to just do a stream, because with a stream, everything is happening live as is, you know. The only caveat to that is there could be problems like the OBS not acting the way I need it to act, and sometimes whatever happens live stays on the internet, you know. That's why I got to be super careful about the certain things that I say, because I might say something that can be misinterpreted from other people about my intentions of what it is I'm trying to explain. You guys got to remember one thing, and it's going to sound a little weird, but English is not my first language. Like, Spanish was the first language I spoke, and it wasn't until like I was 6 or 7 years old when English became my accustomed language. And even then, I'm surrounded by a lot of people that speak Spanish, so you know, like I have to bounce between both languages, and the only time I ever really get to speak English is with my close friends, and of course when I'm online. But when I'm at work and when I'm out socializing in Miami, it's always about Spanish, you know. So yeah, with that Let's Play, I just gave up because I didn't have the willpower to go through. And the Pure Platinum videos, I just stopped because Chapter 9 and 10 moving forward is really difficult in terms of getting a Pure Platinum with limitations. I set myself up for a challenge that I didn't realize was going to be way harder than I expected. I'm almost tempted to go back on my rules and just play the game the way it's intended to be played, where I use items to stay safe. Because that is one thing about Bayonetta 2 that I didn't bring up in the last stream, but I think now should be brought up, is that in an attempt to make this game more welcoming for new players, they basically got rid of the item penalty system. So you're free to use as much items as you want, and you won't be penalized for that. And I know for some people that's a great thing, because it feels awful trying to go about making these ingredients, making these items, and then consuming the items and then being told you suck because you use the item. So I get where people are coming from when they say that it's a good thing that they removed the item penalty system in Bayonetta 2, but I feel like there needs to be some sort of repercussion for using items, because if there's no penalty for using items, there's really nothing stopping a player from just using the items and not really putting in as much of the skills as they want to get that pure platinum. It's a breeze getting pure platinum ranks just by consuming the items and not putting in as much effort, because with items you become stronger, which favors the DPS scoring. With some items you also become invincible, so you don't have to worry about dodging as often. And with some items, you're able to refill your magic instantly. So now magic isn't as precious as before, because you could just refill it up whenever you needed to. And I know for some people, like I've brought this up on certain forums, because I've had people attack me and say, but it's a single player game. Why do you care that people are using items? Just don't use the items. Problem solved. But the thing is, that doesn't really solve the problem. That's more ignoring the problem, because I can play the game without using items. I can totally do that without a problem. But the problem here is that it doesn't feel like you're being rewarded for playing the game in a more challenging way. Playing the game with or without items still nets you the same results at the end. So my question here would be, what is the point behind not using items? I know there is a little reward for not using items. You get like, I think, a 5,000 Halo bonus. But the irony of this bonus is that by using items, you can actually get way more Halos than what the bonus gives you, because with high damage you can get insanely high scores and walk away with a higher Halo count as a result. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it's adding to the challenge. It feels more like it's being there was a word for this, but it escapes me. It's the lack of the high risk, high reward gameplay that really does put Bayonetta 2 at a fault, and it just makes the game not so fun for the expert players. For the casual and the mainstream players, it's an amazing game, and I'm not going to take that away from you or from anyone that loves Bayonetta 2. But there definitely is a lot of nuances that Bayonetta 2 has that really can rub the pro players the wrong way. You know what I mean? Really, the big problem with Bayonetta 2 is that if you want to make it a challenging game, it's all self-imposed challenges. You know what I mean? Like, why do I choose to not use items? It's completely self-imposed. It's not because the game is asking me to play without it. Alright. Let's go. Now, remember when I was talking about the cutscene dodges? Here comes another one. Cutscene dodge! Again, this is a really good idea. I really love that Bayonetta 2 implemented this, and I hope 3 continues to implement this feature. Eat him up! Eat him up! I don't want to see this angel's face. I think when items are there to start with and the game has plenty of difficulty options, a score penalty feels fair enough. It's still really accessible and new friendly. Of course. If it wasn't for Enzo giving us the middle finger at the end of every chapter in Bayonetta 1, none of us would strive to get good, right? Right. Oh, no, Ghost of Sparta. I will definitely not stop the stream at chapter 9. I make that promise here and now. If I don't finish Bayonetta 2, I will not play Bayonetta 3. Let's put it like that.
No time! I have to get to Fimbulventer!
I cry when angels deserve to die! God, I used to listen to System of a Down way too much back in my high school days. I mean, System of a Down is still a good band. One of my favorite songs will always be BYOB.
Shit! What was that? Nice mask, mate. Headed to that witch's party? Not the best costume I've ever seen, but she doesn't seem like the picky type.
How would you know, Loki?
Where is she?
Besides, Bayonetta's not going to be picky because she's already got one special person in her life.
Sorry, mate, but I haven't the fucking slightest. Haven't seen her in ages. Besides, even if I knew, she and I have a special relationship.
Why do you guys hate Loki's baggy pants? I don't know, to me those baggy pants are pretty cool. That's the kind of aesthetic that I really like when it comes to like people doing them b-boy dances or break dancing. It's the kind of aesthetic that I personally like. I kind of wish Loki would have been more of a hip-hop type of character. I mean, they really do ease into that idea. I mean, he's got the braided hair and he's got the attitude, but yeah, I can see where people are coming from when they're saying that Loki is annoying, but I feel like Loki could have been a little bit better with his attitude, but his look isn't all that bad. Now, for some reason, to activate this hidden verse, you have to break these barrels, I think? I don't know. It's been a while since I played. Oh, there we go. There we go. Loki is a budget The World Ends With You character. You know something? That's another game I should play at some point. I have never played The World Ends With You. And it's funny because a friend of mine gave me that game as a gift for the DS. So maybe I'll look into playing that game on my spare time soon. Loki drip is fine, but when he talks, no. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, I guess that's the final verdict. Loki's got the cool-ass drip with them cool Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium puzzle and the baggy pants that make him look like he's ready to do some really cool breakdancing. But the moment he starts speaking, it's like hell. And not even the good kind of hell. Alright, I found all the missing pieces of this LP. We gotta go visit Rodan. Probably a gold. Well, just a regular plat. Oh, because I took too long. Ah, okay, I remember this one. So for this hidden verse, you have to break this bench. You have to ruin this this lovely couple's night. Get out of here. There's Angel afoot. This verse, I initially struggled to get pure plat because I wasn't used to Umbran Climax. Coming from Bayo 1, when I was about to give up, I only had to use it once. Instant PP. Let me see. I think you'll love the soundtrack. Oh, no, I've heard the soundtrack for that game. It is very much the same kind of vibe that I love. It has that similar vibe of Jet Set Radio, and I absolutely love the Jet Set Radio soundtrack. Hideki Naganuma is the man. Kudos to Richard Jakes as well. One thing I'm curious of, do people prefer Scarborough Fair's moveset or Love is Blues? In my personal opinion, and I know this is shocking for a lot of people, but I actually prefer Love is Blue.
What kind of adult picks on little children?
I'm not a child.
I think Love is Blue is great because it has a much more versatile set of moves. It's just such a shame that those versatile set of moves are held back by the mechanics of Bayonetta 2. Because I bet you anything, if Love is Blue could be ported to Bayonetta 1, it would probably make Bayonetta 1's combat just a little bit more better.
Trust me, little one. He's not my type.
Hey, Sliding Panda Man, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for catching the stream.
Oh my, you're a Lumen Sage.
That is the true. Mask Lumen Sage, Mask Lumen Sage. The first of the many Lumen Sage fights that we're going to be encountering. And not one of them is fun. Although since I'm playing it on normal, it shouldn't be too bad. I'm just not a fan of the fact that he just likes to ghost through some of my moves. So even when I throw out a Wicked Weave, he could just escape it with a get out of jail free card. Seeing them. Oh boy. Can we talk about this fight for a second? I'm sorry. I want to take a quick intermission here to talk about this whole bit here, because this is one of the big problems that I also have with Bayonetta 2. The insatiable need to cram everything into the game's screen. Now, Bayonetta 2 is an exciting game. There's so much chaos going on with these backgrounds and these enemies fighting in the background while I'm fighting against Lumen Sage. And while this is an amazing experience for people who play the game for the very first time, when you're a pro player playing this game on the higher difficulty, trying to nab a pure platinum, it is a waking nightmare. Because the problem with the game's visuals is that while the colors are definitely better than the colors found in the first game, there is so much heavy saturation in Bayonetta 2 that when everything starts to be in motion, it just blends together into a messy blur. And as a result, it really makes these enemies hard to visualize. You know, a lot of people give Bayonetta 1 flack for the muddy colors that it has, like the backgrounds are brown and whatnot. But those muddy backgrounds serve a purpose in helping the angels, which are white and gold, stand out. There's an offset. There's a distinct contrast between the way the enemies stand out from the muddy backgrounds. But here, since the game is nothing but color everywhere, it's being poured right into your eyes, and it's just too much to take in. And as a result, it's really hard to make out what Lumen Sage is trying to do. And you try fighting him on the hardest difficulty, where he is just so insanely fast and so insanely slippery that I just find myself constantly having to retry after just one tiny mistake that I make. And again, this is cool. It's an amazing experience. But when you're a player like me that really wants to focus on getting a high score, it just becomes a mess. And now comes the other part that I don't like, the flying segment. I already talked about this, but when you're in a flying segment, you pretty much lose half of Bayonetta's movesets. Now all of your attacks are grounded and you don't get any aerial-based moves, even though you're in the air. And look at this, too much chaos going on in the background. It is so hard to make out all the tiny details. And I messed that up. Oh, no, no! You don't get to hit me. Go, Madama Butterfly! Kick his ass with this very shitty rendition of Punch-Out. I'm just gonna say it right now. This Punch-Out bit is cool, but Wonderful 101 did it a million times better. Wonderful 101 represent! Yeah, boy! You should really play that game if you haven't already. Really, you just need to focus on one attack. You don't need to do any fancy mix-ups or anything, because you don't need to. But yeah, that Punch-Out segment is cool, but Wonderful 101 did it so much better. It actually feels like a legit Punch-Out bit. Here it's like, okay, it's a little cheeky gag, but it serves no other purpose other than to just be silly for a couple of seconds. And if you make a mistake in that Punch-Out bit, you gotta take it right from the top.
Like my new haircut.
I, for one, appreciate the spectacle here, but the gameplay is just not good enough. I think that's the big problem with Bayonetta 2. Too much spectacle, not enough substance. I know I'm being very harsh with Bayonetta 2, but believe me when I tell you that even though I don't like Bayonetta 2, I still can find some enjoyment in it. It's a fun game. I just want you guys to understand that there is a distinct difference between Bayonetta 1 and 2 in terms of their gameplay quality. That punch between Tempera Gia and Butterfly made the stream freeze for a bit. It did? I'm looking at the dropped frames and it doesn't say anything about the frames dropping. Because here on OBS, it tells me whenever there's a moment where the stream cuts off. But if it did cut off, well, shit. That's not something I want to happen during the stream. Just know that when I was fighting against the boss, all I did was make Madama Butterfly throw out her right hooks. Alright. So now with that fight over, we can go to the Cathedral of Cascades, but first let's take a little stop over to Rodin so we can get our next weapon.
Another LP. No rest for the wicked. Even if I am jollier than the average demon. But no need to pity me.
The way I word it is that the difference between Bayonetta 1 and 2 are only really noticeable if you super pro play the game a lot. But once you notice them, it's impossible not to. Exactly. If Set isn't being harsh on Bayo 2, that's how we know this is an imposter.
I like it when they come quiet like. Means they still have some fight left in them for the road ahead. He's all yours now, Bayonetta.
Undine. This is basically the equivalent to the Durga Claws back in Bayonetta 1. These are elemental weapons where you get to have fire or ice. In Bayonetta 1, the Durga Claws were fire and electricity. So I think this is a nice change. Because it never made sense to me that we would have fire and electricity, and the electrical part of the Durga Claws were kind of a hit or miss kind of attack for me. So it's kind of nice that for Undine they focus more on freezing enemies, which actually is pretty cool. Let's see, I certainly don't have enough halos for accessories, so I'll just go ahead and buy out the rest of the abilities. And by the way, I made a total mistake. Someone pointed this out, but I made the mistake of saying that I think it was Witch Twist. I had accidentally said that Witch Twist was the Afterburner variant. It is not. Witch Twist is the dodge punch move that you do in the game. Someone corrected me. The actual Afterburner alternative is Witch Strike, which I already purchased. So that's my mistake. I sometimes get confused with all of these names. I mean, Witch Strike, Witch Twist, Witchy Watchy. It's kind of hard to keep track of everything, you know? There we go. All techniques are purchased. So now I gotta focus on earning a lot more halos so that I can buy the accessories. And I think the most important accessory that I should buy, oddly enough, is Moon of Mahaa-Kalaa. I had talked about this in the first stream, but even though Bayonetta 2's witch time system is really bad, to the point that doing perfect parries is unnecessary, doing regular parries still has its benefits. It's able to stop enemies completely in their tracks to give you a bit of a fighting edge. But yeah, perfect parries are sort of unnecessary in this game. Crazy how for so long we had nothing for Bayonetta 3 news, and now we're less than 30 days away. No kidding! We are so close to the game's release. We are now officially under a month away. We are now officially just a month away before the game releases. And I actually have something special I want to try to do during the month of October leading up to Bayonetta 3's release date. Would you be happy if there is an accessory where you can use Unite Hand in Bayonetta 3? Oh, I would kill for any sort of Wonderful 101 abilities in Bayonetta 3. I mean, it's not important, but I would welcome it. so surreal. It almost feels like it's all a lie, you know? It's all a joke. It's all fake. There was never a Bayonetta 3. We're gonna wake up and realize that anything having to do with Bayonetta 3 was just a figment of our imagination. But no, it's not. It's actually happening. I was never expecting a Bayonetta 3 at all in my entire life. I felt compelled to say that Bayonetta 2 could have just easily been the last Bayonetta game, and I would have been fine with that. But the fact that we're getting a third game is freaking wild. By the way, say hello to one of Bayonetta's new Beast Within abilities, where she turns into a snake, letting you travel underwater with ease. A cool ability, but it only works underwater. Why hasn't Platinum added a wonderful 101 ability in any game yet? Hell if I know. It's kind of tricky to make it work because everything is... The thing about Wonderful 101 is that its mechanics are tied to the drawing system, so you really can't implement something like that in a game like Bayonetta. Although I did make this joke with my friends the other day, because my friend said, like my friend asked me, how would I implement a Wonderful 101 reference into Bayonetta 3? And my answer to that would be, since there's those theories that there are multiple Bayonettas in this in the third game, which might be true, it might not. But if the theory that there are multiple Bayonettas is true, I would love for there to be a segment where 100 Bayonettas come together to unite up, and all the Bayonettas form into this one giant blob Bayonetta lookalike, and that's how you fight the final boss. All the Bayonettas morph into one giant Bayonetta. That would be a killer Wonderful 101 reference right there.
Just like that.
Sounds like my kind of guy. Maybe a bit of a pervert, though.
Get this kid some Tylenol. He's always with a headache. I have played Viewtiful Joe. As a matter of fact, I would love to stream Viewtiful Joe at some point. I actually went out of my way to hack my Wii U so that I can play GameCube games on it. And the reason why I hacked my Wii U is so that I can be able to plug that up to my computer and be able to stream GameCube games for you guys. Now, I could easily just use an emulator, a Dolphin GameCube emulator on my PC, but the less strain I put on my computer, the better. You know, using outside sources to run my games is a lot better for me because I don't want to put my computer into overtime. I mean, my computer is good. I can chuck a lot of heavy games into it, but I don't like making my computer multitask. You know what I mean? So, some point in the future, I do want to look into doing a Viewtiful Joe stream, and I also would love to do a God Hand stream for you guys. Just keep in mind, I'm not a pro in every action game that exists. Like, I'm decent at Viewtiful Joe, but don't expect me to be like super amazing at it like Matthew Matoses. And same thing with God Hand. I'm decent at God Hand. I know how the game works and I could get through the game just fine, but don't expect like super amazing Mike Cobb skill play, okay? There's only so many games I can be good at. Luckily, the games that I am good at are the ones everybody loves. Well, everybody loves God Hand and Viewtiful Joe too. What am I talking about? The snake controls are, I wouldn't say they're clunky, but they are weird. The whole idea is to try to shift your character around, you know, make him slither like an actual snake. It's the only way to move around quickly. If you try to go in a straight line, you'll be pretty slow. God Hand, I can coach you. No worries. I've had people. Not people. There's a YouTube series that I remember watching that was made by what was this guy's name? He was the one that helped make these guides for God Hand alongside Mike. His name escapes me, but he did a really cool compendium knowledge of God Hand and how to get the most out of it. And that's the video that I would always watch in order to try to get the most out of the game. But again, I'm not a real pro at that game, so don't expect any amazing gameplay out of me. like I said, there's only so much games I can be really good at. And I don't have time to, like, master every single game's existence. Stomp on these bros. Okami is the other Clover game that gets any love from Capcom, it seems. I hate that Capcom puts more attention on Okami than anything else. It sucks that we have not gotten an official port of Viewtiful Joe 1 and 2 on PC. And it's a shame that God Hand has yet to get an actual good port. The only port God Hand ever had was the PS3 port. And it's not even a port. It's just a digital copy of the PlayStation 2 version running on the PS3. And it's my understanding that that version of the game has some weird issues. I'm not entirely sure. I heard there were issues, but I didn't notice them because that's the game that I own. Although I do have the game on my PC through an emulator as well. Underwater physics! Don't you love it? Because I don't. There we go. Something about Bayonetta 2's music and gameplay is oddly somewhat adorable to me. That is pretty odd, but I sorta getcha. When in doubt, just do circular motions to go up. Now, you could easily go here, but if you continue going downward, there will be a hidden room for you to fight these dudes. You know something? I find it really funny that even when you're underwater, you can still do an Umbran Spear. Imagine if there was a Snake Spear ability. It would probably look stupid, but it would make more sense than being able to turn into a bird just for that one esoteric mechanic. What do you guys think? Do you guys think a Snake Spear would make more sense than an Umbran Spear? Oh yeah, look, even AP points that out. I find it funny how you can use Umbran Spear underwater, but in order to move, you need Snake within. Yeah, see? Me and Abe, we are on the same equilibrium. Now, I should put some attention on the new weapons I bought. So let me go ahead and do that. Let's equip the Undine. I'll make a small demonstration for you guys about this weapon, because this weapon is really cool. My only issue with it is that it has pretty terrible tracking. Whenever you try to fight against enemies, if they're not within your reach, there's a chance that Bayonetta will miss her attacks. Thankfully, these have pretty strong range ability. Like, the Umbran Climax ability, I should say, the Umbran Climax version of these weapons do have insanely large reach, so that is one of the good things to have this weapon on hand for. Of course, when you do Bullet Climax, you'll change to the Ice version. And something to note about Bayonetta 2 that I find interesting is that it's actually No, that's not the word I want to say. It is possible to freeze almost every enemy in the game, even the really giant bosses. And I only know that because I actually saw Drayzher use these weapons when me and him would team up to fight against many of the large bosses in our tag climax. When I saw Drayzher freeze the giant Temperantia boss, it actually blew my mind. It made me realize, whoa, you can actually freeze enemies, like all the enemies? Because previously in Bayonetta 1, only certain enemies could be frozen. If you try to do it on any boss, it won't work. If you try to do it on enemies like John, it won't work. It only works on smaller mooks when using the Odette. But here, they actually made it a point to try to make it where almost every enemy, as far as I know, all the enemies can be frozen. However, the properties for freezing the enemies changes depending on their size. So the bigger the enemy, the more you got to throw out that ice blast. And the funny thing, because I pointed this out in one of my tweets, when you freeze an enemy, you can actually relaunch them in the air with multiple uppercuts. In fact, you can do it on some enemies that previously couldn't even be uppercutted normally. Like, if you freeze, what's the name of that enemy? Pain, you know, the giant blue creature with the giant wheels and the missiles. If you freeze them, you can launch them into the air. It's just such a shame that the ice doesn't last nearly as long, or the frozen status doesn't last nearly as long. I feel like Bayonetta 2's freezing mechanics should have been reworked, where once an enemy is frozen, if you keep blasting that freeze, they should stay frozen for a little longer, instead of just giving you such a short amount of time for the amount of effort that you put in to freeze them in the first place. You know what I mean? And yeah, I am bringing up Drayzher because Drayzher is one of those people that is very much an advocate for Bayonetta 2. He adores Bayonetta 2 a lot, and I'm not going to take that away from him. Like, I will never tell him that that he's wrong for liking Bayonetta 2. Hey, people got preferences. I do not like shitting on people's opinions. That being said, I would like for people to understand why it is I don't like Bayonetta 2, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know why that is. I've already explained that a little too much with these streams as far as anything goes. The ice attacks are so uninspired. If it wasn't for the freeze effect, the actual functions of the move is so boring. Which, yeah, I kind of agree. No, I don't think I need to go to the gates of hell. Let's just go right into the middle of this Coliseum and see who it is we gotta battle. Although, you know what? I really hope that for the next weapon that can potentially have freezing abilities in Bayonetta 3, we get something that is amazing with its ice abilities. Because the thing that I find interesting with Bayonetta 3 is that every weapon you carry, every weapon has a Demon Slave variant. Like, if you have the spider weapon, there's also a spider slave. And if you have a trained demon slave, there is also a trained weapon. In fact, Drayzher showed me that there is going to be a weapon in Bayonetta 3 where you harness a chainsaw sword, which uses the train wheels as the gears to rotate the chainsaw, which I think is pretty fucking sick. So chances are, if we get a freezing weapon, we're going to have a demon slave that has the ability to freeze enemies, and that's going to be freaking cool. No pun intended. I can't wait to see what are the items and weapons and demon slaves that we're going to be able to unlock in Bayonetta 3. Nah, I don't want to rotate this stick anymore. I'm bored. Ah, okay. I'll continue. Seriously, why even rotate the stick? If you have to continue, then I don't know, I just find it funny that that's a QTE that you have to play in. And if you don't play it, it just stays there like that forever. Say hello to one of my actual favorite enemies to fight against, Pain. I actually enjoy fighting against Pain.
They don't look like your kind of normal
He feels like an enemy that's
friend love.
actually,
I think
like,
my
I feel
friends
like,
and I might have had a
how can I explain it? Pain feels like an enemy that was designed to work with the philosophy of Bayonetta 1.
The balance of
With
power
clear tells,
is in check.
powerful punches, and since he's heavy, you obviously can't combo him, so the idea is to dance around him.
Some of you are keeping
I feel like
apart.
Pain is a good equivalent to how Grace and Glory are designed. He's fun. He's not meant to be comboed, he's meant to be messed with. Enemies that you can mess around with. See, look, you can launch him! You can totally launch him when he's frozen. It's just such a shame you can't do much after that. Slice and dice! I love the mechanical design of demons in Bayo 2. Hope we see more of them in Bayo 3, but without sloth. You know what? I agree with that as well. I love the mechanical designs of the enemies in this game. Like I said, I feel like those enemies would fit so well into Bayonetta 1. They feel like Bayonetta 1 enemies being stuck in Bayonetta 2. Now, we could go up, but if you look around, there should be a hidden verse somewhere around here. Ah, there it is. Oh, I could tell just by looking at those pillars that this is going to be one of those stay in the air challenges. Here's a funny thing. There's actually no such thing as stay in the air challenges in Bayonetta 2. Instead, it's one of those the floor is lava challenge, where the idea isn't so much to stay in the air, it's more to make sure you do not touch the ground whatsoever. I kind of get the feeling that the devs knew that it's really hard to stay in the air, so they added these pillars to make it a little bit more interesting with this different set of rules where it's not about staying in the air, it's just about making sure you can't touch the floor. But as long as you're standing on the pillars, you'll be safe. It's a shame that that's even a thing in Bayonetta 2. I wish the stay in the air challenges would return, but considering how it's a lot harder to juggle enemies in this game as it is, I feel like this was the change that was necessary, only because of the mechanical changes that were made to Bayonetta 2 as a whole. I mean, yeah, you can abuse the whip, but half the fun is also figuring out other ways to stay in the air. It's not just using the whip. You can do that and call it a day, but I like doing stay in the air challenges where I try to use just the pistols. Just by using Umbran Spear and let's see, Umbran Spear, enemy stepping, you should be able to get through it just fine. Of course, whip makes things a whole lot more easier, but I digress. Wow, that was really easy. What the fuck? Of course I took too long though. Blasted time requirements. That's another thing I kind of don't like about Bayonetta 2. They made the time requirements so damn short here. In Bayonetta 1, there was at least a bit of a leeway in the amount of time you were required to get some things done. Most verses would be, I would say, about 45 seconds before the rank starts to go down, or even a full minute. Here, you gotta be within 30 seconds to qualify for a platinum score, and that just further proves that this game doesn't want you to do combos, it just wants you to go for the hard hits. Alright, let's get back out. And I gotta say, like I keep saying this, and I've said it a lot in the last stream, but Bayonetta 2's set pieces are a sight to behold. I mean, if I could make Bayonetta like disappear for a second and just be able to move the camera freely around and take pictures, I would totally make this a wallpaper screen cap. I hope that for Bayonetta 3 we get an option to be able to have like a special camera mode, like what Astral Chain has, where you can freely move the camera around and take pictures. That is something that Bayonetta 3 definitely needs to have. And here in Bayonetta 2, you can definitely tell they put a lot of work into the architecture and the lighting, the colors. Everything about this is beautiful. This is one of the aspects about Bayonetta 2 that I definitely like. Wait, what? What did I get hit with? Oh, well. Huh. I got hit, but I still got a pure platinum. What the heck? Can't you hold the right stick to do first person mode? No, you cannot do that. The only thing it really does is reset the camera. No other buttons I see here allow you to go into first person mode. Nope, that is unfortunate. No first person mode here at all. Angelic Hymns, Gold LP, I cannot pronounce that. Erlkonig. Now, we could go upstairs, but if you jump down into this water, you will be met with more angels to fight against in a hidden verse. You missed the first LP piece? Oh, did I? Where was it? You gotta remember, I don't play this game very often, so there's a lot of things I'm gonna end up forgetting. If you guys would be so kind as to tell me where the first LP is, when I'm done with this chapter, I'll go back and look for it.
This is it! The bridge to the heavens should be right above us.
Are you sure?
Not really.
Not really, huh? But you're right. This is it. Call it a woman's intuition.
Women's intuition? What kind of silly comic book shit is that? You still don't know a thing about me.
Let's just say I have plenty of experience with nothing coming to mind.
What?
I spent 500 years not knowing who I was. I only found out the truth recently.
You too? Listen, I don't remember a thing. Nothing. I don't even know why I'm so damn sure I need to go to that mountain. But I know I have to. It's all I know. Does that make any sense?
Come now, little one. Can't let the girls know you've got a
You can
heart.
actually do first-person
It's
camera
not
mode if you
like
hold the
that.
right stick for about a
If
second.
that's all you
Is that true?
That's
I'll
all
check it
the
out
sense
after
you need.
this
Just believe.
unskippable
That's
walkie-talkie
what I do.
moment.
Bayonetta. Let's do it.
Go back downstairs for the LP. Oh, would you look at that? Wow. Oh, I actually learned something new. I had no idea there was actually a first-person mode in Bayonetta 2. Wow. Holy cow. I might actually be able to use this for some camera taking. Like, look, here's a good shot. Let's see if I can set up a good camera here, and boom, bam. That's a beautiful shot right there. Let's go ahead and enter this Muspelheim! I'm sorry, that's how I'm going to pronounce it from now on. Timed battle. Defeat the enemies within the time given. Self-explanatory. Just do it as fast as you can. That was easy. Again, I know I'm playing the game on normal, but this game feels way too easy to be playing. Maybe I should have set it to hard mode.
You've been naughty.
In the starting area in a chest at the bottom of the sea floor. You mean the starting area like way back at the beginning? I'll definitely go back and grab that. Unless it's possible to backtrack completely. I don't think so, but I'll go ahead and check. Let's see. That's one thing I kind of don't like about Bayonetta 2 and 1. There's always a lot of these point of no return moments. I mean, it's not like it's necessary to go all the way back. But it would be cool if the game was so open-ended that it allows you to track all the way back to the beginning if necessary. Although I do like that Bayonetta 3 is also employing this feature that lets you know if there's any verses that you skipped just by the way the UI has been designed. Which is a good thing, an extremely good thing. That's definitely gonna take out the whole questioning experience, because that's something that I always deal with when playing Bayonetta. I'm always sitting here going, did I already do that first? Did I already go back? Did I do this? Did I do that? Because I tend to be kind of forgetful when doing all these things. For real, an actual photo mode in Bayo 3 would be nice.
I remember this.
I definitely hope so. And considering PlatinumGames made Astral Chain, which featured a photo mode, it wouldn't exactly be out of the question for them to be able to implement that into Bayonetta 3. So, OBS is really not playing nice with me right now. That is a shame. I don't know what is going on. I'm looking at everything in my computer to make sure that everything is running really well, and there is no internet issues, there is no internet problems here. It's just OBS deciding to crash for the night. But whatever, let's keep going. Oh yeah, no, I've heard your stories. How internet over there can be awful.
I remember this.
The funny thing is, internet here is fine. I have fast speed. It's just sometimes the outside forces of nature will sometimes just eavesdrop on me and be like, no, you shall not have fun. I'm going to cut away your fun. There goes Loki, throwing his card into defense mode.
You again?
Oh, hey, mouthy brat kid.
So, I see you're acquainted.
How did you get here?
I'm the great Luka Luca. I didn't go through all these ridiculous ordeals to just randomly show up in opportune places, you know.
See? Risking everything for nothing. Told you I knew someone just like that. So, what are you after this time?
I don't know about unlimited internet in California, but here in Miami, it's my understanding that we do have a certain amount of limit to how much we can download. Like last I checked, I believe it was like a 400, 500 gigabyte limit. But since I don't really download that much stuff often, it's not really hurting me in the long run.
The Legend of Aesir?
Why does Luca sound like Spider-Man? I guess it's because Spider-Man decided to take up a voice acting business.
Actually, this might have something to do with you, Bayonetta.
You don't say.
The Legend of Aesir. A legend from the dawn of time. Nobody knows where the world came from. A struggle caused the Trinity of Realities to be split into 3 realms. Light, darkness, and chaos. Obviously, our world was the one born from chaos. The 3 worlds all needed
same voice as Sasuke. Yep, it's him. Someone tell me what the guy's what was the name of the voice actor behind Luca again? I always forget.
First eternity quietly looking upon the earth from his holy mountain.
It was Yuri Lowenthal, right?
Match our rules of the world.
Yes, there we go. Yuri Lowenthal. Lowenthal. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
These observations became Aesir's power. Aesir's eyes were truly the eyes.
I guess the voice acting business pays more than what JJ was charging. Are you kidding me? Like, I mean, Spider-Man had to release that one Christmas album. Whoa, Spidey bells, Spidey bells. I wish I could remember the whole lyrics, because that song is actually a lot of fun to listen to. I actually play that out loud during Christmas. Spidey bells, Spidey bells. Whipping through Midtown.
They could now choose.
Although it's funny, the way he pronounces Spidey bells, I keep thinking he's saying Spotty bells.
Humans could choose their own paths. They awoke to their own identities. Man is but a reed, the most feeble thing in nature, but now we were thinking reeds. And we took our first big step towards grand prosperity. The inheritors of the Eyes of Aesir had been granted the power of creation.
The eyes.
That's right. The eyes of the world. Controlled by a Lumen Sage and Umbra Witch.
The eyes of the world?
However, the influence of the right eye, the one controlled by the sages, left this world forever with the death of the final sage.
What's the best forum Bayonetta Discord channel if I want to talk about the gameplay? Well, I don't know if I can call this one the best, but I do have my own personal Bayonetta Discord group that I call the Bayonetta Lab Corner. It is a Discord group dedicated to talking about the gameplay mechanics of Bayonetta. If you want to join that Discord, you're more than welcome to. Check the description below the video here. You should see the link for the Discord page. It's called the Bayonetta Lab Corner. Check it out. Make friends with the people there. We got about 130 members strong, And we love talking about the mechanics. We love sharing our combo clips. We love showing off our skills there. So if you want to talk mechanics, that is the perfect place for you to hang out. Yeah, I'm back. It's like I never left. Oh, here we go. Got it. Whoop. Almost got hit by that.
Shit! We're not going to make it.
The music here is amazing, and this is the only time it's used. Yeah, I feel like Bayonetta 2 does so much missed opportunities with the soundtrack it has. It only plays Moon River like, what, 2 times throughout the entire game? And then you have these awesome musical sequences that could have been used in other places, but it's only played like once. Yeah, I feel like the soundtrack is underutilized in this game.
All the luck. I don't have time for this.
Now we get to play as Loki. Whee! Look at his amazing gameplay, and I messed it up. You know what? Loki deserves to get hit. Loki's not the one getting a pure platinum, it's me. But since I don't want Loki to nab that pure platinum, I'll make sure he gets hit.
Crap! Nothing's working. That was easy.
Oh, only got hit
Just
once.
do something about that.
Okay, I actually like this effect. When Loki repairs the whole place, it ends up the way it seamlessly the way the whole place seamlessly goes back to its normal look actually looks really cool. Like you can see that everything is broken, but when Loki fixes it, there's something about it that just looks really cool. All clean as a whistle. I don't know. I get a kick out of that. Nope. Here comes Madama. Oh, damn. I actually did not see that attack coming. And I didn't see that one coming either. There we go. I was trying to freeze him, but that didn't work. But hey, I still got a platinum score, so there's that. Oh no, our worst nightmare, Loki 2.
Right. Let's go.
Let's.
Bruh, Bayo can chuck an Urbane in the cutscene with her bare hands. I want to do that. Cutscene Bayonetta is the most powerful Bayonetta out there.
Like my new haircut?
So yeah, putting aside the fact that we went through 2 random disconnects, I'd say that went pretty well. Hopefully we don't get any disconnects. If it gets real bad, I'm going to do my best to try to finish up this boss and call this stream off and try to get that OBS fixed. But hopefully that does not happen because I've been able to stream all the other videos without a single problem. It's just that now OBS decides to like choke it, you know what I mean? Now, I did miss out on one of the LPs that I need, so let's go back into this chapter to get that item, shall we? Alright, we'll go ahead and skip all the cutscenes. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. I know, right? Our worst nightmare? What's worse than 1 Loki? 2 Lokis. It's getting too loco with the Lokis over here. Let's see. So, I believe... You said it was like down in the water? Let's see if I can find it. It's been so long since I played Bayonetta 2, so you'll have to forgive me when it comes to locating every single hidden item in this game. I'm not too obsessed with this game like I am with Bayonetta 1. I believe it was this one. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. Alright. Now, just to make sure that I save this LP, let's finish up a fight and let the game save. And then when it saves, we'll back out. Hey, Foxgate is playing Yu-Gi-Oh! There we go. So it should have saved, so let's go ahead and back out now. We don't need to finish the entire chapter. Thank goodness.
Another LP. No rest for the wicked. Even if I am jollier than the average demon. But no need to pity me. I was bored anyways. Be right back. This one's gonna be fun.
No, I hope so.
Been looking for a workout like this for a while. Ta-ta.
I'm just drinking a lot of water. Always stay hydrated, my friends.
Had to crawl down to a deep circle to get this bad boy. I think he'll do great.
Chernobog. Oh, this weapon. I really want to like this weapon. I think this weapon's concept is really cool, but it's also held back by a couple of strange caveats that it has. Caveats, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Let's back out. I'm going to try and show you guys why I'm not a big fan of this weapon. Because, I mean, it's got really cool stuff going for it. But it's also kind of weirdly situational in the way it works.
You've got the right eye for talent.
go to practice mode. See, like, the weapon is really cool. I just feel like, let me see. I really feel like Chernobog has like these really slow swings. Like, the swings are kind of slow and a little awkward. While the concept is really cool, I feel like Rakshasa ends up beating it out in terms of effectiveness. Because Chernobog is cool, but it's just too slow and clunky for my taste. You got these large swings. I will say, though, the Wicked Weave is actually amazing because it covers like the screen in massive sizes. So it'll look something like this. That uppercut is actually kind of cool. Let me see if I can do that uppercut. That one. It's a cool trick. Also, the stiletto is actually kind of cool. It has that. But the projectiles leave so much... I should say, like, the projectiles leave a lot to be desired. Or too little to be desired. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's just the projectile is so underwhelming. The wind-up is too slow to make it work. I don't know, it's kind of hard to put into words why I'm not a big fan of Chernobog. It's got a lot of cool Wicked Weave attacks, but ultimately it's just a little slow and awkward. The blades are cool, but they don't really add much to it. It's a nice design. It's a nice weapon in terms of concept, but I feel like it should have been a little bit faster. And I feel like the blades should do a little bit more damage. And if anything, the blade should have like an explosive property to it, where once the blade sticks to the enemy, it sort of just like explodes on impact so that it keeps the enemies rendered helpless. I don't know, maybe I'm asking for too much there. I don't like how there are only 2 horizontal spinning weave finishers. The rest are vertical. Yep, that's another thing. Okay, but you know what? Just for the sake of this stream, I'm gonna try my best to fight this boss with the Chernobog. Just so that I don't completely exclude it from my inventory. But then after that, I'll switch back to the Capcom. Valor! I'm just gonna say it. This boss fight is really boring. And I don't mean the whole set piece and the music and all that stuff is boring. No, because that's really cool. But when you really get down to it, the only thing you're really doing against this boss is just whittling away at its health with all of your attacks. That's pretty much it. Because you're constantly falling and you're in flight mode, you're stuck in this one plane as you're helplessly left to let the game position you to where the boss is. So as a result, all you're really doing is just throwing out everything at this boss until his health goes down. And then once you reach the second part of the game where you're underwater, you're still helplessly stuck in this plane where Bayonetta shifts around with the whole area as you're desperately trying to get close to the boss in order to continue whacking away at his health. I feel like this fight could have been so much more, but alas, it feels held back because this is one of those technical flying segments.
I hope this one lasts a little bit longer. just going to make me take him there. After I've taken care of my business, of course. Is that all you've got? Almost. Is that all you've got?
And here we go, the second part of the fight. There we go. Huh, I almost messed that up.
I don't think you'll be able to get a new one of those.
My demise will not alter fate. A tribute to you, witch. I do want to bring that up. Maybe I'm being too harsh with this boss, but to me, what makes a boss fun isn't just the set piece, it's how fun you can dance around with the bosses. But putting that all aside, I have to give kudos to Platinum Games with the presentation. I do love those moments where the boss swings his sword so massively fast that it actually cuts through the water, and when you go into Witch Time, that split water effect is pretty fucking cool. But this really does go back to what I was saying. This game really does spend so much time being just style over substance, where the game looks pretty, but when you really break down the core mechanics and the core skill, you're really just whittling away at its health. You're not running around it, you're not trying to get behind it, you're not getting on top of it. You're just constantly fighting it from a fixed position while the enemy is just going around you. I wish there could have been more to it, but I mean, it is what it is. You don't even need to completely drain his HP. He still has a sliver of health. He still has a sliver left when you climax. Right. I know that, but you still get some points out of it anyway. Now here we go. We're off to the Ark.
Another failure. These pawns can no longer serve my purposes. Power must be held in my own hands to truly be attained.
Oh my god, is that an Astral Chain reference? It totally is an Astral Chain reference. They were throwing down these references way before it was even a thing.
What the hell was that?
Totally.
Shit! Why am I the only one sucking the drink? Where are we?
Further from the mountain than we started, that's for sure.
I feel Like I've seen this place before.
This chapter is my least favorite for fighting Balder. That is a total
Stand
shame.
before me without escape. This is
I
not
actually
your
think
world.
this
You
one
should
is one
not
of the
be-
better fights for Balder, if only because it has the least amount of bullshit stuff going on screen.
He must be turned to nothing.
Little one, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, love. Now I'm sure I've seen this room before. If you're still
Make a
trying to
little
get help,
adjustment
Bayonetta,
here. There we go.
I might know the shortcut.
Oh?
I'm remembering what I really am.
Who are you?
Time's almost up.
Lopter is totally looking like a RuPaul Drag Race reject. Ah, that's great. Yeah, I could totally see that. Oh no, it's a giant manta ray called Insidious.
Well, you were right about the shortcut. But I think they've sent a welcoming party.
Let me go ahead and change weapons here. Not a big fan of Chernobog, so I'll switch back over to Kafka. No! I need to check your eye! You're missing a contact lens! And when I mean contact lens, I mean my fist contacting with your eyes! I can never tell if I'm actually getting hit by that attack or if I'm meant to be hit, you know? It's so annoying when you have segments like that, where you're supposed to be hit because of dynamic cutscenes or something. So it makes you wonder if you were even doing a pure platinum run. That, I think, is bad design. Because I remember when I got hit by that fin, I restarted it thinking that I got hit. Like, for real. Like, got hit. That affects my score. Pounce! Right in the face. Or stomach. I don't know. This manta ray is like weirdly designed. Nope. Sorry. I need your eye. That way I can take a better look at it. Yeah, don't you just hate it when your eyeballs have teeth? Eyes in my teeth, I can't see 'cause I'm eating. I got hit at some point. Interesting. How did those lyrics go? Eyes in my teeth, I can't see 'cause I'm eating. Echoing noise, I can't... Ah, wow, I actually forgot the lyrics to that song. I don't know if you guys know the song I'm referencing here, but the song is called Trip Like I Do, performed by Filter and the Crystal Method. It's a song that was made for the soundtrack of the Spawn movie, the live-action Spawn movie. That's actually a really good song. It's one of my favorite songs that I used to listen to a lot back when I was in high school. The lyrics were pretty freaking cool. So yeah, when you get the chance, listen to that song. It's pretty good. Just be aware, it's very edgy in terms of its lyrics and performance, but it's a really cool mixture of rock and techno. Because you have Filter. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the band Filter. You have Filter and the Crystal Method, which I'm pretty sure you guys know who the Crystal Method is. They would they something about the Spawn soundtrack was really freaking cool, because the soundtrack employed a lot of bands and musicians teaming up to make like genre mixes for whatever reason. Like the movie is whatever, but the soundtrack is killer. The song is called Trip Like I Do. Oh wait, before I continue, is there a hidden verse back here? Oh no. The hidden verse would be a little further ahead. Hatred! One of the demons that a lot of people have come to either enjoy or hate. Take your pick. I actually don't think this enemy is that bad. Although he does like to block attacks easily. Boom! I gotta admit, the torture attacks are actually kind of cool in this game. Especially when you do them on the demons. Oh wow, I took way too long with that fight. Yeah, this game really wants me to do things as fast as I can. Let's see, the Great Indian Bustard asks... Hey man, I wanted to ask, why is it that the devs had to make the changes to enemies being drastically different in their launch and stagger status? Oh, well, it goes back to what I was saying. The reason why most of the enemies were changed to behave in a certain way in Bayonetta 2 is because they wanted to put a larger focus on the Umbran Climax ability. Only with Umbran Climax can you actually get most... It's only with Umbran Climax can you do any of those cool things that you were able to do back in Bayonetta 1, such as launching the enemies, shoving the enemies, controlling the enemies. Without Umbran Climax, enemies have way stronger poise, which wouldn't be too bad in and of itself, but without Umbran Climax, you are at a clear disadvantage and you have to play the game more defensively. The entire game was definitely reworked to focus on Umbran Climax. And for a lot of people, they like that because it makes you feel like a total badass having Umbran Climax out and controlling everything, but it also just puts a damper on most of Bayonetta's other tools. Come on, I'm already wasting time. Maybe I should change over to another set of weapon. Okay, I got a platinum there at least. Hold on. Let's see. Purchase. Oh, because... Okay, hold on. There we go. It doesn't make sense since returning enemies like Grace and Glory can be launched without relying on Climax. Yeah, there's a lot of questionable changes that was made to Bayonetta 2, and ultimately I can't give you the straight answer as to why these changes were made. I can only observe how these changes could have been possibly decided on, and I feel like most of it is because they wanted to focus on number Climax. Why they made Grace and Glory enemies you can combo is anyone's guess. It's kind of backwards thinking, right? I guess they decided to make Grace and Glory easy to combo in order to make people not feel so frustrated fighting against them, because they used to be tough enemies. Now they're a joke in Bayonetta 2. Okay, so with Rakshasa, I should be able to defeat these enemies a little faster. So what's the challenge here? Use Witch Time. Oh boy, this will be fun.
Is that all you've got?
I don't even have time to finish the combo. There we go. Or maybe not. Look at that. That's so stupid. I don't even have time to finish one combo with the Witch Time it gives me.
You're making it easy.
I hope that's a regular platinum score. I'm gonna get pissed off if I end up getting gold in another category. Ah, there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See, I don't mind that they block here because the whole challenge is to be in Witch Time. So when you're in Witch Time, they can't block you at all. So it makes total sense. But yeah, no, enemies blocking in Bayonetta 2 is extremely obnoxious. And I will talk about that in the next stream, because after this chapter's over, I'm going to take a break and, you know, call it a day here. But I know in the next chapter, you will encounter these enemies that, in my personal opinion, I think they're some of the worst enemies in the game. The only one topping it being Sloth, but I'm already getting too far ahead of myself. Yeah, like enemies parrying attacks is pretty bad. But I know some people try to defend it by saying that enemies in Bayonetta 1 were able to parry as well. And that is true, but there is a distinct difference in the way enemies behave between 1 and 2 that makes 2 more obnoxious than 1. But it's not something I'm going to talk about just yet, because I really want to focus on fighting against the Lumen Sage.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were the most persistent stalker I've met yet.
I sure hope this stalker isn't related to Bayonetta in any way, otherwise that remark would be kind of creepy.
And here I thought I was your type.
Again, I kind of hope they're not related.
Step away, Umbra Witch. This is not your fight.
Actually, it is.
Maybe it shouldn't be Bayonetta. Maybe it shouldn't be. I mean, Lumen Sage is not fun. Oh, come on. This dude is real fast. There we go. Get out of here. Are you serious? Wow, those follow-up attacks are ridiculous. Oh boy. Oh, I actually, I thought I wasn't gonna dodge that properly. Whittling down his health. There we go. There we go. Hey, Bayonetta, what's going on? Hey there, Sly. Thanks for catching the stream. I'm kind of glad you guys showed up a little late because earlier today I had some technical difficulties.
Little one.
That was my last defense card. Use it well. If they had to make this boss so damn hard to PP, the least they could have done was make them their own chapter or the very first verse of a chapter. Yeah, I totally agree. They should have been done like that. Yeah, that was a bad run. A lot of it was my own skills. I'm not going to blame the game because... Okay, that's a platinum score. Awesome. See, like, Lumen Sage isn't hard to fight against. It really does require extremely high attention. But even then, I kind of feel like the big problem with Lumen Sage is that he doesn't have really good telegraphing. He always manages to sneak an attack on you while he's doing another attack. Like, when he summons his Temperantia, like, that Temperantia will throw out a giant swing. But while it's swinging... the Lumen Sage will then do a stinger right underneath that. So it's like, so you gotta be completely aware of those two attacks that are coming at you, and not one of them. Well, Temperantia does have a wind-up attack that you could see coming a mile away, but that stinger is so fast that if you're not careful, you can get locked into a position where you can dodge the punch. But when you dodge the punch, you'll go right into. You'll be exposed right into the stinger attack that Balder has. Like, I feel like Balder should not be able to throw out two attacks at once. It just doesn't feel right because it's sort of those like random gotcha moments that make you feel like you weren't playing right. And it's more like the game just tossing a lot of random BS at you, you know? Anyway, as much as I can complain about this, in the end, it is also my own skills. I'm not that good at this game, because I know when I watch people like Drayzher kick ass at this game, he knows exactly what to look for when he's fighting against Lumen Sage, and I'm just not at that level. But in my argument, in my defense, I would say that enemies should be designed in a way where even if you forget how they play, you can still instinctively see their attacks coming a mile away. And not even a mile away, they should be designed in a way where you can instinctively see what they're doing, whether it be a short amount of frame or a large amount of frame. You should always see what they're gonna do. The fact that Baldur just has these random sneak attacks that come right at you at lightning speed just feels like it takes a lot of that takes a lot of the effort that you do away. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Because here's the thing, I can go many months and even years of not playing Bayonetta 1, but when I jump back into Bayonetta 1, I'll immediately naturally pick up how all the enemies behave, because they're designed to fight with you on instinct, not through memorization, through instincts. Like, you could see it with Grace and Glory, how they have these wind-up attacks. They're fast, but you could see it coming because they have such massive wind-ups. Anyway, that'll do it. As much as I want to continue with this stream, I'm going to have to call it quits here, because unfortunately I do have plans for stuff later today in the evening. So this is where I will say my goodbyes. I want to thank each and every single one of you guys for tuning in and watching this stream. You guys mean the world to me. I am extremely happy to see that a lot of you guys enjoy the streams that I do, especially those of you who aren't able to catch this stream live but have decided that you want to watch it through video on demand. I'm gonna make sure to properly edit the video on demand stuff so that those random cuts that we had earlier in the stream are completely gone. That way it doesn't completely deter from the rest of the experience here. But yeah, it's a shame that OBS has to act the way it did, because I did lost a few viewers along the way. I know some of you weren't able to like get back in or what have you, but you know, shit happens. But I'll make sure to have the video on demand version of this video prepared in a proper way so that you don't miss out on anything that I've been doing up to this point. As for when I'll be able to stream this game again, I really want to try and shoot for a Sunday stream, because I normally stream on Fridays, but unfortunately my schedule is going to change again. Normally every Friday I get out of work at noon, so I have all the entire afternoon to myself, and that's why I'm able to do these streams for you guys. But unfortunately, starting next week, my schedule is going to revert back to normal, where now I have to stay Fridays. I have to stay Fridays at work all the way to 5 p.m, which gives me very little time to stream in the daytime. I might be able to do late night streamings, like maybe I might stream Friday nights at 8 p.m. But I also want to try to shoot for like a daytime stream, and I'm gonna see if I can do something for Sunday. But in the meantime, if you haven't already, do join the Bayonetta Discord group that I have down in the description. I have a link for it down there. It's called the Bayonetta Lab Corner. It's a really great Discord group that allows people to come together and discuss everything having to do with Bayonetta from a mechanical point of view. We talk about stylish combos, we talk about mechanics, we talk about the potential behind Bayonetta 3, all that sort of thing. I also use this Discord to be able to make any important announcements for my future streams. So if you want to stay up to date with everything that I do, you can either join this Discord group or you can follow me on Twitter. My name on Twitter is the same as the handle here. It's Setnaro X. You'll find it easily. I'm pretty sure you will. But if you don't want to follow that, it's totally fine. You don't have to. I will do my best to make community posts to let you guys know what my schedule is going to look like. But until then, I'm gonna have to get going. I'm gonna have to be going now. So until next time, I want to say to you all, stay wonderful and have a lovely evening, a lovely morning, and a lovely afternoon. I'll see you again real soon. Take care. Love you all. Peace out.
I know that you'll be back.